Welcome back, and today we're pitting the first and second seasons of Squid Game against each other to see which takes the giant piggy bank of cash. Major spoilers for both seasons ahead. Round 1, Games. Season 1 created an instantly iconic image as a group of unsuspecting players lined up for the world's deadliest game of red light, green light. It set a precedent for an anxiety-riddled show where childhood games became deadly survival competitions. Whether the players were tasked with meticulously carving an umbrella shape from honeycomb candy, collecting enough marbles to survive, or walking across an elevated glass bridge, Season 1 kept finding dementedly inventive ways to raise the stakes. The titular Squid Game in Season 2 might not be as creative as the ingenious challenges from the first season, but it is every bit as ruthless and hauntingly intense. The season amplifies its sadistic charm by transforming the game into a brutal brawl to the death, layered with deep internal morality struggles among its players. Unlike the first season, Season 2 takes its time before returning to the island, using the opportunity to build tension and explore the psychological toll on its characters. However, once the games commence, there's no shortage of peril, featuring high-stakes challenges such as a twisted version of rock-paper-scissors fused with the unpredictability of Russian roulette. When the deadly games officially kick off, Song Ji-hyun and the audience are fully aware of the carnage awaiting the players as they step into the familiar yet chilling red light, green light arena. This foreknowledge, however, does little to diminish the nail-biting intensity as contestants are mercilessly gunned down despite Ji-hyun's desperate warnings and attempts to guide them. Season 2 raises the stakes further by introducing fresh games like the six-legged pentathlon and mingle. These challenges demand teamwork and unity, but as the competition grinds on, alliances fracture, and desperation drives players to betray one another, inevitably leading to some being thrown under the bus in their struggle for survival. Each moment underscores the fragility of trust in a world where survival comes at the expense of others, making Season 2 a darkly compelling addition to the series. Season 2 only features 3 official games, one of which we already saw in the previous season. The first season not only included more games, but each of them left a greater impact than those introduced in Season 2. Round 1 goes to Season 1. Winner, Season 1. Round 2, Action. Between red light, green light and the final game, Season 1 opens and closes with heart-pounding set pieces. Yet, the season isn't as action-heavy as you might expect. Most of the games, such as honeycomb carving, put more pressure on the player's mental state, focusing on slow-building suspense rather than adrenaline. Even the more physically challenging games, like tug of war, offer limited possibilities in terms of action choreography and staging. As over-the-top as Season 1 might have been, it could also be surprisingly intimate, with the action taking a backseat to what was going through the characters' heads. Although Season 2 has fewer games, it compensates in the action department. The six-legged pentathlon and mingle require the players to be on their toes at all times, but the most action-packed moments are not the games themselves. When the remaining contestants are torn on whether to keep playing, a heated confrontation turns a bathroom into an all-out war zone. The season saves its most impressive action set piece for last as Ji-hyun's team stages a rebellion against the masked enforcers. The sequence makes impeccable use of its environment as the armed players attempt to take control of this colorful madhouse. Even if they don't succeed, it feels like the rules have been forever changed. Ironically, while Season 1 may have more games, Season 2 goes bigger whenever it can, delivering grander action that goes off the rails. This round belongs to the sophomore season. Winner, Season 2. Round 3, Pacing. Season 1 introduces us to the games through the eyes of Song Ji-hyun, one of the many contestants who doesn't realize what he signed up for until he's running for his life. Even after getting a taste of the games, Ji-hyun struggles to stay away. Each episode keeps us guessing what unspeakable horrors await the players next. Between the games, Season 1 takes time to explore what makes the players tick while gradually revealing what's happening behind the scenes. This balance of character development, moral quandaries, mystery, and spectacle makes for a riveting season of television without a dull moment. It builds to a killer finale, with the games truly just getting started. Although Season 2 hits several familiar beats, it avoids simply rehashing the same formula that defined the first season. Instead, it ventures into fresh territory, starting with the first 2 episodes, which primarily take place off the island. This shift in setting allows the narrative to expand beyond the deadly games, offering a deeper dive into Song Ji-hun's psyche and the lives of his new allies. The extended time spent outside the games sheds light on the broader societal issues that drive participants to risk everything for the slim chance of wealth and freedom. This exploration of the external world adds layers to the story, emphasizing the stark contrast between the oppressive real world and the perverse structure of the games. As Ji-hun struggles to process his trauma and make sense of the game's purpose, he realizes that the only way to bring them to an end is from within. This revelation sets him on a dangerous path back to the island, where he faces familiar horrors but with a heightened sense of determination. Unlike his first experience, where he was thrust into the games blind and terrified, Ji-hun now returns with a plan, albeit a fragile one, and the knowledge of the stakes involved. However, not everything is the same. The rules have been modified in subtle but impactful ways, introducing a new element of control for the players. Notably, they are given the ability to vote on whether they should continue playing or end the games altogether. This democratic facade adds a psychological dimension to the proceedings, as it forces the contestants to confront their own desperation and greed. The power to stop the games seems within reach, but the pull of potential fortune often outweighs their moral compasses, highlighting the show's central theme of human nature under pressure. These changes, while seemingly minor, underscore the evolving dynamics of the games, making Season 2 feel both familiar and refreshingly new. Between games, desperation and greed repeatedly trump common sense and humanity, stressing the show's central theme. Yet, watching the characters vote can get redundant as we eagerly await the next game. The ending is also a little abrupt, feeling more like a mid-season finale than a season finale. While we wouldn't call Season 2 slow, certain sections can feel sluggish. Season 1 is tighter and fresher, with a more satisfying finish, claiming this round. Winner, Season 1. Round 4, Supporting Players. Upon arriving on the island, Ji-hun develops bonds and rivalries with several other players. The standouts include a former childhood classmate named Cho Sang-woo, a street-smart pickpocket named Kong Sae Byok, and a mysterious old man who knows more than he's letting on. As engaging as these characters are, it's clear from the start that most of them will not survive. That doesn't make it any less gut-wrenching when Ji-young makes the ultimate sacrifice or when Hanmi Nyo exacts revenge against the villainous Jang Deok-soo at the expense of her own life. Although we tell ourselves not to get too attached, we can't help but become invested, even when a player doesn't get much screen time. Although Ji-hun returns in Season 2, the roster is otherwise comprised of new players. Ji-hun recognizes Young-bae, an old friend who becomes a dedicated ally during the games. Other newcomers include a transgender former soldier named Hae-ju, a pregnant woman named Kim Jun-e, and a mother-son duo. With Ji-hun attempting to save as many lives as possible, a strong camaraderie forms among the players. Working together, we're given hope that more than one will survive the games this time. Of course, it wouldn't be Squid Game without a few players only looking out for themselves. Enter Thanos, one of the season's most unhinged villains. Both seasons had stellar ensembles, making this a difficult round to call. With Season 2 focusing less on the games, more time is dedicated to exploring character dynamics. The friendships that grow under savage circumstances give the season an unexpected heart, emerging as this round's winner. Victor, winner, Season 2. Round 5, Twists. From the moment the red light green light robot turned her creepy head, we suspected Season 1 was about to take a grim turn. We nonetheless jumped out of our seats as guns started blazing, sending the players running and freezing in terror. Every game that followed came with an alarming twist that kept us on pins and needles. Meanwhile, an overarching mystery is unraveled as Detective Hwang Jun-ho infiltrates the games under the guise of a guard, discovering what happened to his long-lost brother, In-ho. As shocking as it was to learn that In-ho was the frontman, nothing tops the reveal that the kindly old OIL Nam set it all into motion. Season 2 conveys a modest bunch of crushing passings and fierce disloyalties that stunned us. The greatest question mark all through the season is the frontman, who joins the games as Player 1. In spite of the fact that Player 1 partners with Ji-hun, we know he's functioning another point. At the point when he'll show his genuine nature stays indistinct until the season finale. With the uprising in progress, Player 1 undermines everything. Faking his passing, he continues his job as the frontman. In a horrible last bend, the frontman makes Ji-hun watch as he takes out Young-bae. Albeit this appeared to be unavoidable in certain regards, we actually didn't see this stunning consummation coming. Before we proceed, make certain to buy into our feed and ring the chime to become advised about our most recent recordings. You can decide to be informed for infrequent recordings or every one of them. In the event that you're on your telephone, ensure you go into your settings and switch on warnings. Making the frontman a player was a propelled bend for Season 2. All things considered, it might have hit excessively near Season 1's last uncover, reminding us never to believe anyone relegated the moniker Player 1. Squid Game 2 admirably maintains momentum, but the original was a breath of fresh air that's difficult to replicate. Congratulations, Season 1. The 45.6 billion won is yours. Winner, Season 1. Which season of Squid Game did you prefer? What do you hope to see in Season 3? Let us know in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Cine Orbit and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.